Hey guys, welcome into Backseat Drivers here in Studio 3. I'm Alex Weaver here with Jonathan and Chase. An exciting finish again, Pocono Raceway. Denny Hamlin gets win number 3. He has 3 wins this whole entire season. He's on top of the board in some of the contenders. Is he a 2019 championship title contender?
No. Is Denny a championship favorite? No. Is Denny a Homestead favorite? Yes. He's not going to beat the 18 or the 19.
Don't we race for the championship at Homestead?
He's going to make the Final Four. Is he going to get to Homestead? Yeah, I think so. With this momentum.
Well,
is he going to beat the 18? Is he going to beat the 19? No, because Kyle Busch is Kyle Busch, and Martin Truex Jr. is really good there when the sun goes down.
Okay, so is he a title contender?
He's a contender, but he's not going to win it.
Okay, well, I'm going to argue with the old man that's been watching the races for 15 years. I'm going to say he is. I think that Denny Hamlin is one of the favorites to win the championship this season.
Where's your stats?
Yeah. Here's my stats. I'm glad you asked.
We're getting
2016, Denny Hamlin won the Daytona 500.
Didn't win the championship.
He hasn't won a championship, so let's just put that elephant
there
out.
we go.
That's a statistic.
I get it. I get that. Let me finish. Okay, so in the 21 race stretch in 2016 that we just finished after Pocono, he had 6 top 5s, 10 top 10s, and 1 win. 2019, what did he do to start the season? Win the Daytona 500. In that same span, he has 10 top 5s and 13 top 10s with 3 wins. This is his second best season next to the 2010 season where he had an 8-win season, and he's consistent too.
Denny Hamlin and that 11 crew has been lights out. But I do feel like consistency-wise and competing for a title, you have the likes of Kyle Busch and Martin Truex Jr. and Brad Keselowski. What do they do every single week? Top 5s or they win. Denny Hamlin has been right up there with that crew. Another team that's possibly trending but in the wrong direction is Hendrick Motorsports. Are they in trouble, or is this just the heat of summer?
The 9 team is a little bit of heat fatigue, I think. He has not finished well.
11th is the highest in the last 7 weeks.
So that's not good. I think when you take a step back and you look at it as a whole.
He's had 3 DNFs, which is very unlike
that crazy. And Chase's whole career has been built on consistency. Top 5s, top 10s. I think the fact that 11th in the past 7 or 8 weeks is the highest that they've finished, that is not good. But I do look at things like William Byron, adversity at Pocono, from the back to the front. I think you look at adversity for the 88 crew at New Hampshire in their 3rd car of the weekend, coming out with a top 15 finish.
So what in your mind is going on at Hendrick?
I think it's just a little bit of a summer slump. But I think if anybody's going to be encouraged, it's the 24 team, because they're lights out right now.
And it is just a summer slump for the 9. Elliott and crew chief Alan Gustafson, they'll get back on track. I would guess before the playoffs even start. Like, I think they could go to the Glen and finish top 5 or even win. They're the defending winners.
You said something about, before we started filming, about you think possibly Hendrick is just trying some new things out.
Yeah, I'm not gonna, like, you never know.
I know the head shake over here.
I know. Okay, so I know what your point's going to be, Merriman, is that you can't afford to give up the points, but they're locked in. They might be trying some stuff.
Locked in doesn't matter. I think, and this is no offense, I think that is, because I've heard this point made before, that is the dumbest thing that you could do. If you're experimenting and you only have 1 win and your stage points and your playoff points are dwindling down.
And his 1 win is Talladega, which he had help of every Chevy in the whole camp.
If you go into the round of 8 and you don't have 30, 40 bonus points. You put yourself in a situation where the 4 guys with more bonus points in front of you, when we go into the round of 8, they have to have catastrophic failure.
Going back to the point, I still think he's going to turn it around, and I don't think we have anything to worry about with the 9 team. I really don't.
No experimentation.
I do know that the 88 team has the most recent win out of Hendrick, but out of consistency and carrying kind of the HMS banner here recently, I'm going to have to go with the 24 of William Byron and Chad Knaus.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the 24 team, they get in victory lane, and Byron gets his first career victory before the playoffs even start. And
so you think he locks in with a win?
I think he does, and I think the one you circle is the last one, Indianapolis. He has won there in Xfinity before.
The package is very, very similar to when he won. And when he won that race, William Byron's the real deal, right? I was sold when he passed Kyle Busch to win that Xfinity race I'm like, all right,
this new kid.
this kid, I mean, he's gonna do some things because he passed Kyle Busch in the Xfinity Series at Indianapolis.
Now let's talk about bubble trouble. It's another topic that is one of my favorites when we get later in the regular season. I feel like we are constantly on the watch for who's above the cut line, who's below the cut line. So let's look at Erik Jones and Kyle Larson. They had good runs back in Pocono, but they're not in the clear. So do Erik Jones and Kyle Larson both make it into the playoffs?
I think Eric's in the clear.
100%.
Yes. It would. I think it's going to take an act of God to keep him at the playoffs. Honestly, I do. I think he's got the confidence. If you listen to what Joe Gibbs said in the media center after the race, they're working hard to finalize his deal for next year. Joe Gibbs cares about Erik Jones' future. I think Erik Jones needs to hear that.
Agreed.
Because of all the everything.
I think it is definitely playing a bit in his mind
Absolutely.
when he gets asked about that every week.
Larson's got to keep it off of the tow truck. Larson has got to finish races. Fantastic job in Pocono.
You had some liners today.
I mean, he's going to have to keep it off of the rollback. You can't finish races on the hook and expect to run for a title. You can't do it.
Going back to my stats that I love so much, yeah, consistency-wise, Jones has been right there to win his second career race. But I'm going to go with Larson. He's in the clear if we're going to compare the two because the 42 has had speed, okay? Chip Ganassi has had speed. We saw that with Kurt Busch all season long. We've seen it with the 42. The 42.
Joe Gibbs hadn't been fast at all. What's going on over there?
I talked to Larson at Chicagoland, and they've just had dumb luck.
He's got Michigan coming up though,
and that's the one I circle for Larson. I know he's not that good at the Glen, but I think if he minds his own business, just crosses his T's, dots his I's, and gets a top 10, and then goes on to Michigan, and he could potentially win there. I think Larson's fine.
If I'm Chad Johnson, I'm telling Kyle, keep the fenders on it, stay on the lead lap. We're not going to short pit. We're going to get stage points. I mirror what Chad Knaus did at Sonoma with William Byron.
Alrighty. Let's look at Clint Bowyer and Ryan Newman. They are dead even at 15 and 16. You're going to argue with me about this, but I'm setting up a scenario where only one makes it into the playoffs. Is it the 14?
Is it a cage match?
6? No. Helmets are off.
Their helmets are on in the race car.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I think the 14 has more to lose than the 6. And I think the 6 is in a better spot because of that. Ryan Newman's always in this position. Ryan Newman always finds a way to enter the conversation when it comes to the cutoff, and he's always there. He's always there, and it blows my mind. They had nothing to lose coming into this year. Expectations were like, oh, man, Ryan Newman's going to come run. That'll help Ricky Stenhouse.
Yep.
The fact that Stewart-Haas Racing is sitting here and,
one win.
With one win, and last year they had 4 wins, and all 4 cars made the playoffs. I don't know.
So what's your answer?
My answer is that I think Newman's in a better spot than Bowyer's in.
I'm going to go Bowyer. I'm going to give you your answer first, Bowyer.
Hold on a second. Wait a minute. Oh, it's a psych ward. They're calling because there's a crazy person on the loose.
Well, it wouldn't be the first. Wouldn't be the first time on this show, Merriman. If I'm going to go between Bowyer and Newman, I think Bowyer has the edge. I know that Stewart-Haas Racing hasn't had. They only have 1 win. They haven't had as much speed. But if we're going to pin them together, I think Bowyer has a better shot of going out there and getting a strong finish, whether that's a top 5 or a win, than Newman does, and that's how I'm picking. I'm going Bowyer.
All right, we're going to agree to disagree on that one because I feel like I'm in the hot seat as opposed to you guys. All right, so let's play green flag or caution because I liked it so much last week that I just want to give you guys a chance to argue.
It was so nice. We're doing it twice.
Exactly. All right, so first scenario, Chase, did you watch? Do we know how to play the game? So if you agree with the statement that I say, probably should preface that. If you agree with the statement that I say, you throw out a green flag, give your side. You have 10 seconds.
Can I throw out the black flag for Merriman?
Yeah.
Can I do that? Okay.
Yeah. If you disagree with what I'm saying, you throw out a caution.
Okay.
And you have 10 seconds to explain that side. 10 seconds to explain your side. All right.
Let's go.
First scenario, I'm going to start with Jonathan over here. All 4 Joe Gibbs racing cars make it into the playoffs.
Yes, Joe Gibbs is a good race team.
So green flag. Throw out your green
flag. There you go.
Okay. Chase.
I'll go green flag. They're all 4 strong. Jones has been really strong lately. I don't think there's an argument there.
All right. All 4 Hendrick Motorsports cars make it into the playoffs.
Green flag. Hendrick Motorsports. We'll get it together. Jimmy has 7 championships. He knows what he's doing.
Put it out. Caution flag. Like I said before, earlier in the show, Jimmy Johnson doesn't make it.
So 3 get in.
3
1
get
does
in.
not.
1 does not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next scenario: 2 or more Stewart-Haas racing drivers make it into the playoffs. So
You
Harvick
go
is
first
locked
on
in.
this one.
Well, based on what I've said so far in the show, I'm going to go green flag. I think Suarez finds a way in there, and Boyer does too. I think all 4 go. I'm going to go on
You
a
think
limb.
all 4 go? The question was 3.
No.
Well, I went one step beyond. So you got to go above and beyond.
Question was 2. So Harvick and 1 other Stewart-Haas make it. So you're going all 4.
Oh, Eric
Yeah, why
Almirola.
not?
Eric Almirola's not going to
It's
get booted.
It's backseat drivers. We can
I
do
think it's
anything.
fine. Green flag. Yeah.
So
You're-
2 or more.
Yeah.
No, don't.
Yes.
No more names. All right.
Wow.
4.
By yourself.
Last scenario: a dark horse makes a long run into the playoffs. Green flag or caution?
What do you consider a dark horse?
Let's go like William Byron, Ryan Newman.
Yeah, William Byron could end up in the round of 8. Green flag.
So is that a long run for you?
The round of 8?
Yep.
Yeah, you're 1 round.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
I'm going to go green flag, and I'm going to go Alex Bowman with that. The 88 has had speed. They've been up and down a little bit since their win at Chicago, but I'm going to go with him.
All right. Well, anything can happen this Sunday. We are going bowling at the Glen. It's road course racing at 3 p.m. on NBCSN. I'm going to let these guys just stay here and continue to argue.
Hug it
'cause-
out.
I'd cool off a little bit.
We'll get some hugs going on. All right. We'll see you guys right back here next week.